Today we're diving into one of the most wild journeys in modern music. It's the story of a global icon, right? But it's also about his turbulent path through fame. A rise, a fall, and a reinvention that honestly helped define a whole generation of pop culture.
At its core, it's really a story about sudden, almost unbelievable fame, which was followed by a very public, very painful collapse, and then, somehow, a really powerful reinvention. It's almost like a three-act play, except it was lived out in real time, on the world stage for all of us to see.
So, let's start with part one, a prodigy's rise. This is where it all began, with this lightning-fast fame that just seemed to explode out of nowhere. Now, this story doesn't start in some big city like LA or New York. Nope, it begins in a small Canadian town back in 1994. He was raised by a young, single mom who was really struggling to make ends meet. It's a surprisingly humble start for someone who would lead such an extraordinary life. But from a very, very early age, it was obvious he had something special. I mean, an incredible talent for singing and drumming. For him, music wasn't just some hobby. It was his everything. It was his escape, his way of expressing himself, and, ultimately, his way forward. And the speed of his rise was just staggering. Think about this. At just 12 years old, he uploads his first YouTube videos. They were just simple recordings, really meant for his family to see. But the world noticed. A few months later, he's discovered by talent manager Scooter Braun. And by the time he's 15, a global phenomenon. I mean, the speed of that change is almost impossible to wrap your head around.
And phenomenon is honestly an understatement. We're talking millions of fans, sold-out arenas all across the globe. The music charts were just completely dominated by a teenager who was barely old enough to even drive. The scale of it all was just massive. Which brings us to part two, the weight of fame. Because that meteoric rise, well, it came with this incredible, unseen cost. And that right there is the crucial point. The entire world was watching him grow up. Every awkward phase, every teenage moment, but so few people could possibly understand the insane pressure he was carrying. Fame came fast, you could say way too fast.
His life basically became an open book, whether he wanted it to be or not. Every single mistake, every relationship, every little moment was put on public display for everyone to judge.
Can you even imagine having zero privacy? Paparazzi followed him absolutely everywhere he went. It turned his life into this constant performance, like a 24/7 reality show he never, ever signed up for.
And the media was relentless, just dissecting his every single move. That kind of intense pressure, especially for a teenager, well, it started to take a really serious toll on his mental health.
And that leads us to part three, the breaking point. Because, inevitably, the pressure just became too much. All of that pressure led to a very public struggle. He fell into this emotional darkness, which was marked by depression, anxiety, exhaustion, and, a series of pretty bad decisions that played out all over the headlines.
And the world judged him and mocked him and criticized him so harshly. It's like everyone was forgetting that underneath all the fame and the fortune, he was still just a kid trying to figure things out under this impossible microscope.
And right here, this is where the story pivots. The collapse, which was fueled by a public judgment and all that emotional darkness, it gave way to the rebuilding. This was a whole new journey, founded on things like therapy, faith, marriage, and a real commitment to personal healing. His story didn't end with the fall. So now we're at part four, the reinvention. That rebuilding process led to a complete transformation of both the man and, of course, the artist.
He made a very conscious choice to just step away from it all. He took time off from music, from the spotlight, from the whole ecosystem that had really broken him down. To heal, he basically had to disappear.
And when he finally came back, he returned with a totally new voice. Albums like Purpose, Changes, and Justice showed us a really different Justin. Way more mature, more honest, and just a lot more human.
He really shifted from being just a pop sensation to becoming what you might call an emotional storyteller. His music became this vehicle to express his vulnerability, his struggles, his growth, and his new understanding of love. So in the end, his journey is this incredible story of a boy who became a global superstar before he even had a chance to become a man. And then, a man who had to learn how to completely reinvent himself after breaking under that unimaginable weight.
And it kind of leaves us with a question, doesn't it? From his small-town beginnings to the world stage, from crisis to recovery, his story is such a powerful reminder.
behind every single headline? Isn't there just a human being, flawed, fragile, but also amazingly capable of rising again? Thanks for watching.